Few classmates pulled me along to pay respects to the monks, but just as we were about to reach the master's room, I suddenly heard familiar voice. Master, what should we do to break the curse we're suffering from now? That's right, Master. Please help us. They were Lily Lynn's and Ryan Shen's voices. The classmate beside me gently tugged my sleeve. Vivian, why are those two together? What curse? Are they possessed or something? I curved my lips into smile, pulled her aside, and whispered, well, I don't know either, but we can watch and see what they're planning. The moment I finished speaking, the gossip loving light in her eyes flared up instantly. We stood quietly outside the door. Before long, the two of them came out. One glance was enough to see how awkward their expressions were. I, on the other hand, was extremely satisfied. Just as I was about to go watch the show, several other classmates excitedly followed along. I didn't mind. Inside, I already had vague idea of what was about to happen. After reminding everyone several times to keep quiet, we stopped in front of a room door. I raised my hand to signal silence. Everyone immediately held their breath. I cracked the window open just a sliver. The scene inside slammed straight into everyone's eyes. Lily Lynn and Ryan Chen were standing in bathtub, tightly holding each other. All the classmates widened their eyes in shock, so stunned they couldn't say a word. Lily Lynn placed her index finger on Ryan Chen's chest and traced circles, her voice so coquettish it made one sick. I'm sure that piece of paper was some kind of dark magic. Vivian Chen must have cursed us. That's why we've been so unlucky and humiliated like this. Ryan Chen stroked her head, his voice full of contempt. That bitch pretends to be so pure. I wanted to get intimate and she wouldn't even allow it. Seeing me with you, she got jealous and cursed us. Luckily, my baby noticed it in time. Otherwise, how would we even know how to lift the curse? The classmates outside were completely dumbfounded, their brains seemingly short-circuited. But I understood very clearly. Everything was going exactly according to my plan. This pair of shameless lovers could just wait and receive the big gift I had prepared for them. Classmate lightly tugged my sleeve. Vivian Shen, did you really curse them? Why do they look like lunatics? I smiled. I don't know anything about curses, but there's a piece of paper on my desk. It has a sentence I copied from some folk tales I read recently. When the mind believes, it becomes reality. Everything in the world can be controlled by one's will. It probably believed that all those public diarrhea disasters were my doing. The girl was speechless. My God. And they actually believed it were cursed. I didn't reply, only turned my gaze back inside. The two of them were still entangled together, inseparable. Someone behind us couldn't help blurting out, holy shit. Are we really watching this for free? I looked at the scene inside and began to drive my intent. Right at the critical moment, Lily Lynn suddenly let out a plop. Immediately after, Ryan Chen grunted heavily, and the room was instantly filled with a choking stench. Lily Lynn screamed and tried to climb out of the tub, but before she could steady herself, she slipped in. The two of them fell back into the bathtub together. In an instant, several loud splashing sounds echoed. A thick, foul stench rushed straight through the window crack into all our noses. There was no need to say it. The water in the bathtub had already turned into feces. Someone in the crowd shouted, "No way. It again? Diarrhea again?" Even while doing that, I closed my eyes and said calmly, "Not only that, they're swallowing it too." Everyone's gaze snapped back inside. The two of them flailed wildly in the cramped bathtub, seemingly choking on several mouthfuls of liquid. The stench grew heavier and heavier as they continued to discharge. Yellow-brown liquid mixed with bits of solid matter splashing everywhere. Almost everyone outside gagged in unison. The classmate beside me covered her mouth. Can these two just move to another planet and lie by themselves? I've never seen anything like this. I started feeling nauseous too and quickly pushed through the crowd, rushing violently into trash bin behind us. My head spinning, I staggered back toward the window. At this moment, the two of them crawled out of the bathtub completely naked, their entire bodies covered in feces, some of it still clearly undigested. The brain-melting sight made me want to vomit again, but then those two actually ran outside. We all looked at each other and, in the end, decided to follow. Of course, I led the way. The show was reaching its climax. How could I possibly back out now? So the two feces-covered figures ran ahead while a massive crowd followed behind. I even spotted the supervising teacher mixed into the crowd. Was this reasonable? There was no time to think anymore. We just ran after them in panic. There were no modern toilets in the temple, only pit latrines. We stopped at distance and secretly observed. At this moment, the two of them looked like they had regressed to humanity's most primitive state. Raw, instinctive, savage. After an insane round of excretion in the pit, it finally stumbled out, completely exhausted. Thanks to the cover of darkness, although they were naked, we couldn't see clearly. Only two pale figures staggering forward. Lily Lin and Ryan Chen glanced around, confirmed no one was there, then moved closer together. We're definitely cursed again. Vivian Shen. That bitch. Can't stand seeing us happy. I looked at them, utterly speechless. You stabbed me in the back, and you still expect me to treat you well? Do you really think I'm some kind of fool? After wiping off the filth, the two of them once again tried to cling to each other. Someone nearby complained, no way. This is outdoors. It just fell into shit pit, swallowed feces, and they're still in the mood for romance? Are they dogs? I burst out laughing. The two of them were completely absorbed in each other and didn't hear anything around them. I summoned the system and decided to test my new ability. Conveniently, right next to us was natural feces pit. If I didn't let this shameless pair risk their lives and sea of filth, I'd truly be wasting my power. After the system locked onto the targets, I began controlling their movements, guiding them step by step toward the pit. Before long, Lily Lin screamed first. Ryan Chen, why are you pushing me? What are you doing? Lily Lin fell straight into the feces pit. Only then did Ryan Chen snap back to his senses. Panicked, he hurriedly reached out to pull her up. But because of the depth, the filth had already submerged past Lily Lin's nose. She flailed wildly and accidentally slapped Ryan Chen across the face. In the next instant, Ryan Chen lost his balance and plunged headfirst into the pit as well. A terrifying suction force surged from below. Only then did they realize how bad the situation was. Ryan Chen struggled desperately to escape. Lily Lin, driven by survival instincts, clung tightly to him. But Ryan Chen had completely lost his sanity. He kicked hard, flinging Lily Lin away, kicking her deeper into the pit. But once you fall into pit like that, escaping without external help is nearly impossible. Ryan Chen began screaming hysterically inside the pit. We, the onlookers, all knew this was serious. But no one wanted to rescue someone from Feast's pit, especially not the shameless parrot. The teacher hurriedly called for rescue, then found several people to assist. When the rescue team arrived, only Lily Lin's head was still above the pit. When they pulled her out, her ears and mouth were stuffed with feces and sludge. There were even maggots wriggling inside. As for Ryan Chen, he had swallowed several mouthfuls of feces and was complete, but conscious. When he was pulled out, his entire body was crawling with maggots like honeycomb. Seeing the revolting scene, I vomited yet again. Watching the ambulance arrive, seeing the familiar doctors and nurses and their familiar disgusted expressions, I suddenly burst into loud laughter. In my previous life, I was just like this. Despised by everyone. All because Lily Lin stabbed me in the back, because Ryan Chen betrayed me, and the so-called evidence they fabricated turned me into target for the entire world. On the internet, every careless comment from netizens became dagger. Every word was malice, crushing me, leaving me wounded with nowhere to retreat. Now they had to taste the same despair I endured until my final moment in my previous life. After returning to school, because they had caused chaos in a sacred place, the two of them were severely disciplined by the university. Many students uploaded videos of them online, immediately triggering a wave of social attacks. Some sympathized, others condemned them. Some even dug into their identities and family backgrounds. Watching this scene play out exactly like my previous life, I curled my lips into a cold smile. I opened my phone and took out the videos I had prepared in advance. Footage of Lily Lin secretly using my ID to open accounts. Footage of her smashing my doll and screaming insults. Ambiguous chat records between her and Ryan Chen with a single tap. The video shot straight to the #1 trending search. In an instant, those who had once pitied them turned on them. A storm of abuse followed. Netizens who had uncovered their identities even went their homes to cause trouble. Watching the videos of their parents hiding inside their house, afraid to show their faces, I felt incomparably satisfied. The system's voice sounded once more. Both targets have been completely eliminated. Embarrassment level has reached 100% for both. Congratulations on completing the mission. Cash reward, 50 million yuan. Please check. The system has completed its mission perfectly. Goodbye. If fate allow, we may meet again. With that, the system disappeared completely. My phone vibrated. 50 million yuan had been credited to my account. Looking at the number, I smiled until my eyes curved. Not long after, everything gradually settled down, as if nothing had ever happened. The only one who returned to school was Ryan Chen. He seemed like a completely different person. His former aura gone, his entire being haggard and broken. Not long after returning, jumped from building and committed suicide, yet this news didn't cause even ripple Its impact wasn't even as big as Lily Lynn's cafeteria incident. I suddenly realized just how terrifying social media truly was. As for Lily Lynn, she never returned at all. Because of the videos I released, she was arrested and investigated by the police. Soon after, it was discovered that she was involved in a fraud ring. The entire group was caught, and Lily Lynn was prosecuted and eventually imprisoned. Watching the two people who had once destroyed my life meet such an end, I felt utterly relieved. But what made me happiest was that I passed a national English exam and received my job offer. Although the system's reward money was enough for my entire family to live comfortably for life, people should still strive to do meaningful things. Only then does life feel complete. Rather than becoming keyboard warriors who attack others indiscriminately, perhaps at this moment, my past self was finally being freed and reconciled. From beginning to end, I was never wrong. Boyfriend's betrayal was not my fault. Best friend's betrayal was not my fault. The ones at fault were them, the ones who betrayed sincerity. After graduating, I returned to my hometown to start business, living with my parents and completing the things I never had the chance to do in my previous life. I believe this is the true meaning of rebirth. Thank you, Heaven, for giving me a chance to start over so I could truly live my own life, and I will cherish every moment of this hard-won second chance. Thank you, my dear viewers, for watching the video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to Lilith's Audio to catch the latest videos.